would you do in a debate with him if he tried that? If he come over and leaned over the back of you, what would you do?
You'd have to pick him. You'd have to pick him up off the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of talk,
You mean
punk.
you deck him?
Shut him down. Oh, sorry. Yeah, keep going. Oh, you deck him. Keep going.
Listen, this guy got in my space. You want to get in my space? I've always said, Chris, you punch me, I'm going to punch you back twice as hard.
All right, let's stop right there.
Hard to do.
Total inversion of reality, upside down world. They put out all the fake quotes, all the fake news. They're caught thousands of times per agency doing it. Just constant fake news every day on purpose. ABC News. Oh, Flynn's flipped. He admits he's a Russian agent. He met with him during the campaign. Total lie. You mean to list the daily lies here? Trump gave away the location of our secret submarines. They were docked in Seoul. Look at our 3 fine submarines. Or they were docked in the port outside South Korea on a trip to Seoul. It's just constant lies, 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 lies. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, the globalists are trying to create race war in this country. It came out in Soros documents earlier in the week that back in 2015 they wanted them. And so they misquote the president. He says it's fake, just like weeks ago he said that the Haitians all have AIDS. Totally fake. There's no proof. Another lie. Well, now they've got Democrats, governors coming out saying we want to physically attack the president. Make no mistake, Shithole Gate, as I'm dubbing it, Shithole Gate, is their Waterloo. They think Crapgate is going to bring down the president, bring down the free press, and stop our resurgence of the republic. But their attempts to keep putting out fake news and to censor anybody else that responds to them, and all the proof that they're engaged in this authoritarian battle to stop the American recovery with fake news and disinformation to drive a wedge into this nation and to destabilize the country, will end up being their Waterloo. It will end up bringing them down. Coming up next segment, I'm going to have the clip of F. Lee Bailey. He said it 41 times using the N-word to a black jury, a white guy, to act like Simpson's enemies had done it. The same way they're doing this SH-you-know-what T-hole comment and saying it over and over and over again on the news, but then saying everybody else, you can't say it, only liberals can say it on TV. So video, Democrat governor threatens to punch out President Trump. You would have to pick him off the floor. This from the party of the KKK. This from the party of the Clintons robbing $2 billion, almost all the money from Haiti, and their associates being convicted of trying to smuggle children out of the country. This from these monstrous, lying pigs who know you're aware of them, who know that you're aware of them and are desperate to force you back in. They're engaged in bigger and bigger and bigger lies to try to force you back under their control, and they've got to be stopped because what they're doing now is fire in a theater. They're calling for violence everywhere. Hashtag hunt Republicans. You see the examples everywhere. And then when we say, look out, you keep pushing a civil war, we'll have to defend ourselves, then they edit clips of me together, making it sound like I'm saying launch attacks when I'm saying don't launch offensive attacks. So Democrat governor threatens to punch out President Trump. You would have to pick him off the floor. Terry McAuliffe. So let's play that clip. Here it is.
What would you do in a debate with him if he tried that? If he come over and leaned over the back of you, what would you do?
You'd have to pick him. You'd have to pick him up off the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of talk,
You mean
punk.
you deck him?
Shut him down. Oh, sorry. Yeah, keep going. Oh, you deck him. Keep going.
Listen, this guy got in my space. You want to get in my space? I've always said, Chris, you punch me, I'm going to punch you back twice as hard.
All right, let's stop right there.
Hard to do.
Total inversion of reality, upside down world. They put out all the fake quotes, all the fake news. They're caught thousands of times per agency doing it. Just constant fake news every day on purpose. ABC News. Oh, Flynn's flipped. He admits he's a Russian agent. He met with him during the campaign. Total lie. You mean to list the daily lies here? Trump gave away the location of our secret submarines. They were docked in Seoul. Look at our 3 fine submarines. Or they were docked in the port outside South Korea on a trip to Seoul. It's just constant lies, 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 lies. Oh, he's going to betray you on DACA and legalize everybody. Never said it, never did it, just had a nice meeting. Then he doesn't do DACA because they wouldn't give him a good deal. And they say, oh, look, he lied to us and he lied to you. When he said he would do it, then he wouldn't do it, and he did do it. All to just short-circuit things show he can't cut our taxes down to China's level. He can't bring back the jobs. He can't turn down the electricity prices. Everything he's doing to deliver you a better way of life, that's how we win, is prosperity. That's how we get out from under the globalists. And he's in a race to do it. In 11 months and 20-something days, 22 days, he's done it. You've done it. And they are apoplectic. They don't know what to do. So they misrepresent and said, if he came over and leaned in and got on me and said, you know, how he hates black people, I'd deck him. So they make it about how he's assaulting them in a hypothetical. So it's a hypothetical lie about another lie from a group of known liars, and a hypothetical of how he would punch back, but they're the ones lying about him, talking about attacking him on TV. Imagine if Trump said, I'd punch that governor in the face. It'd be the end of the world. But see, they all do it, but say they did it hypothetically because Trump came over and attacked them. Just like Wolf Blitzer had guest on the day that that crazy guy, you know, obviously Democrat Party operative wound up, came and shot Scalise and others, and Blitzer had guest on going, well, he was a good guy standing up against you, and Blitzer nodded. And I said, Blitzer, what are you going to do if somebody pumps rounds in you because you're a Democrat, and then people say, well, the person that killed you, you know, wasn't bad. They were fighting evil. I don't want that to happen. Media Matters edited that out this week. Put it out that I said go put rounds in Wolf Blitzer. These are a pack of scum. I said, Blitzer, don't start condoning shooting people because it could end up happening to you, and we don't want to go there. They edited out where I'm saying somebody needs to go shoot Wolf Blitzer. People say, well, then don't talk like that. They can edit it. They're gonna. It's like saying don't ever have children because one day they'll die, or don't breathe air, or don't even ever be born. I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm doing what I'm doing. It stands with integrity. End of the story. Yeah, there it is. Completely edited out of context. What happens, Wolf Blitzer, when somebody pumps rounds in your little pumpkin head? He says, it's just political. And then in the full statement, it's, you're calling it, okay, political because this guy went and shot Scalise. Are you crazy? What happens if somebody shoots you? And then we just say it's political. That's crazy. Don't do that. Have some chivalry. Have some basic rules, moron. They don't. Because George Soros, a crazy Nazi collaborator who's never been defeated and overthrows dozens of countries, gets away with everything. He thinks he's invincible, and so do the rest of these crazies. That's why we got to stand up finally and be done with them, because they're threatening our entire planet. They're threatening our entire world, and it's got to stop. It's coming to an end. No big deal. Just that camera always gets moved. We've got the standard shot for that, so we'll just go back to the other shot, or we won't use it. No big deal. Now, continuing, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get to all the other clips in the next segment. I've got to settle down and just get to them during the next segment. I'm really wound up right now because the anatomy of this thing is so obvious, just like the O.J. Simpson, F. Lee Bailey saying N-word, 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 a white guy at the jury, and then pointing at the prosecution. That's all this, them cussing on TV is to elicit an emotional response and act like that it's President Trump that did it. That clip's coming up next segment as well. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a total war. I'm totally committed to you. We got products you need, the very best supplements, the very best quality. We had the biggest sales ever in our history that just ended. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have several new specials. And I just went over with Tim before the show, and I did them with him, and he had them in a folder. And I've got the old specials here. So I try the best I can. But anyways, I'll just hire 5 people to do that. We have Immune Wall, 25% off. We have Alpha Power, 50% off. And we have the Real Red Pill, 50% off. InfoWars Life Essential Pack, 50% off. Secret 12, the super high quality vitamin B12. Survival Shield X2, the good halogen. Find out about why that's so key. Now IQs get lowered when you don't have it. And then, of course, we have Super Male Vitality, 50% off. These are all about to sell out. I had to end all the other specials because they had sold out the other dozens of items, where they were close to selling out because, again, we're getting rid of the extra stock we had for the new year before new stuff comes in. These are great, amazing, best-selling products. You really ought to try Alpha Power, blowing people's socks off right now, X2, all of it. But bottom line, InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, or 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. You can call, tell you about all the other specials, you name it. And these are great products you need, and we need to every day crack the nut to fund this operation because we're not funded by globalists. They're trying to shut us down on every front. But just commit today. InfoWarsStore.com, Brain Force, Alpha Power, Cell Force, the high-quality fluoride-free toothpaste, fortified with colloidal silver and iodine. It's all there. Super Blue. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. Additional 10% off when you sign up for auto ship. So some of these are lost leaders. Thank you all for making this possible.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
I'm a nasty woman.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
There's a story that came out in the last 24 hours, and pardon the expression, it is juicy.
It supposedly happened in 2013, the year Trump hosted the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow.
The bombshell burst Tuesday evening when CNN reported the president-elect and President Obama were briefed on the matter last week. The report included unsubstantiated claims that Russian intelligence compiled a dossier on Mr. Trump during visits to Moscow.
He dismissed outright the very idea that he would take part in the sordid acts described in the report.
He denied everything. He called it all fake news.
Does anyone really believe that story? I'm also very much of a germaphobe, by the way. Believe me.
CNN reported that last Friday, intelligence chiefs presented Trump with claims of Russian efforts to compromise him.
The 35-page dossier on the so-called Russian connection to Trump, with some very salacious allegations, including unsubstantiated claims about Trump in a Moscow hotel room, was not completed until just before the election, and then provided to journalists, the Clinton campaign, and the FBI.
I'm struck by the fact of sort of the way this has been furthered in the last 48 hours. The co-founder of Fusion GPS, which commissioned the dossier from Steele, he's now done this fulsome 10-hour interview with the Senate. He's handed over 40,000 pages of documents to the Senate, very obviously cooperating with the investigation. And Fusion is saying openly, listen, we stand by the dossier. We think it's true.
It claims that Donald Trump once visited Russia, stayed in the Ritz-Carlton in Moscow, and then hired prostitutes to perform a golden shower, and that Russia might have the whole thing on tape.
There were surveillance cameras in this room because the building is wired, and that the FSB has this because they automatically have cameras in the room, and they caught this happening.
Donald Trump engaged in perverted acts with prostitutes.
Trump immediately denied the report, tweeting, "Intelligence agencies should never have allowed this fake news to leak into the public. One last shot at me. Are we living in Nazi Germany?"
I'd like to ask you about your big Russian pee-pee party.
No, I am not talking about the pee-pee. Because it didn't happen.
From there, the president-elect lit into the news media again. He condemned BuzzFeed.
It's a failing pile of garbage. Writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences.
And he accused CNN of being fake news and brushed off persistent attempts by its correspondent to ask a question. Later, CNN's parent company, Time Warner, defended its reporting, and BuzzFeed said it published what it called a newsworthy document.
It claims Trump set out to defile the suite because President Obama and the First Family had once stayed there, and Trump, quote, hated the Obamas.
We don't know where he sat. Could have been on this bench down here, though I doubt it because that's in what's called the splash zone.
Did you guys all pee, or did you just watch them pee?
Guys, no, I do not want to talk about the pee-pee.
Disgraceful that the intelligence agencies allowed any information that turned out to be so false and fake out. I think it's a disgrace.
I think this is just an unfortunate leak. That's making a huge mess. And I know I'm being a wet blanket, but this is reporting on this is the worst kind of yellow journalism.
And if you were to choose a sexual act that Donald Trump prefers, it would probably be the one with gold in the title.
This country will be literally showered with jobs. Because I am a major whiz at jobs. This would be a golden opportunity for me as president to make a big splash.
Jokes about this story are a golden opportunity.
This was not a joke. Everything that I had written in the in the months prior to that dossier coming out was almost identical to what the CIA had written, because we're intelligence officers. This is what we do.
That corroboration, based on intercepted communications, has given U.S. intelligence and law enforcement, quote, greater confidence in the credibility of some aspects of the dossier.
The most salacious and unverified claims are that the Russian Secret Service, or FSB, secretly filmed Mr. Trump with prostitutes in this Moscow hotel room 3 years ago.
Allegations the special counsel continues to investigate, George.
And so far, it is us as American citizens, it is us in the press who are connecting the dots on this story, who are figuring this out.
Fake news never happened. Sad.
There's also a report from CNN recently and from The New Yorker last week that we highlighted just the other night on this show. Look, headline. U.S. investigators corroborate some aspects of the Russia dossier.
Today, there was public testimony that further discredited the phony dossier that's been the source of so much of the fake news and conspiracy theories, and we learned that the firm that produced it was also being paid by the Russians. This is yet the latest piece of evidence that vindicates what the president has said, that this is a witch hunt and a hoax. And it's a shame that the president and the country have had to go through this charade continually, and hopefully this will help us move forward in that process.
He has the respect of our emergency service workers who gave his plane a water salute.
A water salute. Now, you see, I want to believe that Trump was sitting in his chair and not standing at the cockpit window like...
Do you need any more proof?
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Brett Smith, author of Thump, The First 100 Days. Explain to people about Thump and why this is an important book and how it ties into things.
And I just thought to myself, this is brilliant. This is the ultimate juxtaposition of what everyone says about the president. They say that he's a racist, misogynist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic Nazi. So what better way to counter that than by turning him into an incredibly cute, lovable, fluffy little bunny?
It's got that fun, rhyming structure to it. It's actually hilarious. I was cracking up reading the whole book. My wife was cracking up.
And it's a great book for adults. It's a great book for children. We're selling the book. We've got it bundled as well here with a one-off poster that's a collector's item. Both of these, the book, the graphic novel, and the poster are $29.95. That helps support us. So get the book, Thump, The First 100 Days, and Alex Jones and Thump, The Art of InfoWars, for a limited edition at InfoWarsStore.com.